Sorry about the delay. We were watching the Inter Miami and Orlando City SC game. Plus, MLS kickoff times are always a little bit delayed. They never start on time. Got the LA hat on tonight. Neutral, obviously, don't care who wins this game. Very curious to see who does win this game, especially because LAFC is on a good trend right now or kind of has some momentum. They've been playing really well recently, LAFC have. And then the LA Galaxy have obviously been the worst team in LA and MLS this season. They're absolutely terrible. Just extended Greg Vanney. Going to be curious to see how they respond to him being extended tonight, like how the team plays. There's a lot of questions in this game. See what happens. And I even listened to Greg Vanney interviewed by Taylor Twellman a couple hours ago asking about the extension, and he had said something along the lines of that they were trying to get it worked out earlier in the season. And Taylor Twellman asked him if this was going to help solidify confidence and try to build on from not build on because they haven't done anything good this year, but try to build something now towards the end of the year. And he just said he was trying to do that no matter what, and something along those lines. I'm not expecting much to change. I think this team is in big trouble this year. Huge trouble. Got a lot of comments. UB says PSG moves. No, I don't like PSG. Uwe says let's effing go. Hopefully a Galaxy win can turn around this season. Bernie says let's go LAFC. UB says damn, they packed the stadium. Haven't seen the stadium just yet. Got the stream on. Uwe says what time is kickoff? I would assume it's probably around 9:15, maybe 9:20. Not 100% sure. You can tell I've got the wrong game on here. I was just testing it out. I changed up the format for the live watch alongs. I made the screen a little bigger so you guys can see the score if you're not watching it directly. Just that way everybody who tunes in can see what's going on. There we go. Got the LAFC game on. Yeah, this is a big game. This is a big game for both teams. And if LAFC, which I want to get your guys' score prediction here in a little bit, but if LAFC were to lose this game, and I got to invite Nick to this because Nick's going to swing by. I'm going to try to get Fabian Rankel to stop by here and join us at some point in the game too. But if LAFC lose to this LA Galaxy team, it would be an utter disaster because LAFC have been playing very well lately. They just absolutely smoked Seattle on Wednesday. And then they beat, well, they haven't beat anybody yet. They're playing, obviously, the Galaxy tonight. They're trending in the right direction. And it's funny because it took announcing that they were going to get rid of, I guess they didn't announce they're getting rid of him, but he announced he was leaving, Steve Cherundolo. So that's all it took. And then they started playing well. Very, very interesting. So they're playing for a lot tonight. This is it. Look, this rivalry, no matter how each team is playing, has always been a competitive series. If one team is struggling, the game is still very close. And my buddy Nick, Voice of Black and Gold, he was saying that he thinks that LAFC are going to run away with this. He thinks they're going to win something like 5-6-0 or something like that. Now, I'm not going that far. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that crazy. Just too much can happen in a rivalry game. So I don't think it's going to be that bad. And I want to know what your guys' score prediction is for this game. What do you guys think that the score of this El Trafico first game of the season? What do you think the score is going to be of this game? Also, make sure if you haven't already to like the stream down below. It helps us out, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share it with a friend. Let's grow this audience as much as we can. Big game tonight. Big game tonight. Let's have as many people in here as we possibly can, and hit the little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos. Let's see. It's 3-0 Miami. Miami's down by 3 now. I'm watching the pregame. Yeah, they are. Wow. That's a lot of issues with Miami right now. Miami is trending in the wrong direction. Miami have a lot at stake this summer when they play in the Club World Cup. They should have honestly made it to the final in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. They didn't. They lost. embarrassingly, got absolutely demolished by Vancouver, and they haven't won a game since May 3rd. And even before that, I mean, they've only won one game out of their last 7 games. Inter Miami is not looking good right now. Not looking good right now. Cute Kenny, who is a huge LAFC fan, just kidding. He's an LA Galaxy fan. He says a fight definitely going to happen for sure. I mean, we will see what happens. We will see what happens. When's it start? I would assume it starts in probably at 9:15, maybe 9:20. MLS games never kick off on time. Never kick off on time. LAFC red card is my prediction. He thinks LA Galaxy are going to win. Ivan does. Miami are not making it out of the group stage in the Club World Cup with that terrible coach. Okay, so they're doing the national anthem, so maybe the game is going to start. Okay, so it is going to start in 5 minutes. It starts at 9:15. Game's going to start at 9:15 officially. LAFC will win. I mean, that's my prediction tonight, is especially because the Galaxy decided to do something that was very stupid in keeping Greg Vanney for some reason. Literally nobody was forcing them to extend him at this point. There was no pressure to extend him. No one else was calling for him. There was no chance of losing him to anyone else. He hasn't won a game all season. No reason to not just let him coach the rest of the regular season. And they extend him. They reward his terrible play this year. Makes no sense whatsoever. So we'll see how the guys rally behind him, see how they play. I mean, this is as close to the LA Galaxy's best starting 11 outside of Ricky Puig you could possibly get. So we'll see what happens. I think the LAFC is going to win this game 3-0 is my prediction. The LA Galaxy can't score goals. And, you know, one of the things that we're going to study is how big of a fall off Gabriel Peck has had this season. Kenny says he thinks it's going to be 2-2. I don't think there's any chance, Kenny. That'd be crazy. Mr. says, hi, Will. Miami are shit again. Yet they are definitely shit again for sure. They are not. They are trending in the wrong direction. And the club is held hostage because Messi will never sign off on firing his boy, Javier Mascherano. So they're stuck with him. Oh, LA Galaxy. Oh, they're being petty. They got the 6 banners with the stars. They're being petty. You love it, though. You love it. You love the pettiness. Why the match doesn't start? MLS games are always behind schedule. Always behind schedule. Landon Donovan should be the LA Galaxy coach. Oh, hell no. He's terrible. This is going to be spicy. Yeah, no, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I think that I just don't see it. Now, the win probability has LAFC at 47%, Galaxy 27%, and then a draw at like 27%. I just don't see how the Galaxy can win this because they can't score goals. Who's going to score goals for this team? I was just saying before, a second ago, like Gabriel Peck, the fall off is crazy. The dude had like 16 goals, 15 assists last year for the Galaxy. His trajectory was to be the most expensive outgoing transfer in MLS history. Probably going to be sold for anywhere from 25 to 30 million based on the way he was performing last year. This year, he has one goal. One goal this year in 2025 through 14 games or 13 games. Has completely fallen off in 2025. His stock, he went from being possibly sold for $30 million to like lucky if they get 15 out of him at this point. They honestly should have sold him. I mean, hindsight's 2020, obviously. Retrospectively, anyone would say they should have sold him earlier, but they wanted to have him at least one more year to run it back, and they should have just took the money. I'm pretty sure they got an offer somewhere around 20 million after the season. They should, like in the winter, they should have taken that, honestly, because I don't think they could get 20 million for him right now. People aren't going to spend $30 million on a winger who scored one goal. Who's paying that? Mike sounds odd. Really? Let me see something real quick. Everything's good on my end. Mike is super faint. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Is that better? Does that sound any better? Everything good? So starts in a few hours. I'm Brazilian. Don't get nothing. Manuel Villalobos says better. Appreciate it. Yeah, but this is just a tale of two different teams, one trending in the wrong direction, one trending in the right direction. Both of them should have coaching vacancies at some point in this year, but only one of them are going to. LA Galaxy could have went out and hired like Jim Curtin. Could have went out and hired Jim Curtin. Jim Curtin's out there, one of the best managers in Major League Soccer, especially when you consider what he has done with what team he did it with in the Philadelphia Union. LAFC, LA Galaxy obviously spend more money, have more resources than Philadelphia Union. So he would have had more money and more resources at his disposal than he had ever had in his coaching tenure in MLS. But let me refresh this real quick. Oh, okay, hasn't kicked off yet. All right, officially underway. Let's see what happens. See if the LA Galaxy can rebound after the worst season in MLS history. Worst season in MLS history. Think about that. Guy gets an extension after having the worst season we have ever seen. No team has been winless in 13 games in the history of this league. It's almost hard to believe. Craven says, I'm so mad that Vanny got re-signed. I don't really understand why he did. Don't really understand why he did, especially because he isn't good. You know, it's hard to believe this. When I was looking up his record as LA Galaxy's manager through his tenure, he's going to miss the playoffs 3 of his 5 seasons as the manager. He missed it in 2021. He missed it in 2023, and he's going to miss it in 2025. He's only had 1 good season as the Galaxy manager. I don't understand why they were so desperate to get him signed when he's not even that good. Now, and I think Alex Ruiz, if I'm not mistaken, made this point on Twitter when he got re-signed. He said something along the lines that if Greg Vanny had gotten signed in the offseason after winning the MLS Cup, no one would have an issue with this. Nobody would be upset that he got re-signed. But now that we know what we know, that's what makes it worse. And that's a good point. Like, obviously, if he got re-signed in the winter, nobody would have had an issue with it because it was well earned. But the Galaxy were afforded this opportunity, this unique situation where he wasn't re-signed. They got a test sample, 14 games, 13 games, and seeing how bad he was. And he's out of contract in the year. So honestly, they were lucky. They got an opportunity that most teams wouldn't get to see how he is. And it's been absolutely terrible. So they could have walked away from him clean break. No payout, no nothing. They could just let him, not even fired him. They could just let him go for free at the end of the year. And they decided, you know what? We're just going to extend him. We're gonna make him the coach for the foreseeable future, which makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. Nobody was wanting him. Could have at least let him coach the end of the season to see how he would do, and then decide if you wanted to keep him. Not exactly sure why they didn't do that, but here we are. Cosmic Jojo says, how long have you been watching Major League Soccer? Let's see. Religiously, probably on and off for probably 15 or 16 years, but religiously probably since the 2013 season. I would say I've been watching it very, very closely. And then I started covering the league, or like, like with my Twitter account. I made that in 2016. So the 10-year anniversary of that will be next year, which is also the World Cup. So it's going to be a big year for me. And then I made the YouTube account in late 2023. Butterdog says any elite coach with these stats would be sacked. And that's another thing. I can't bring that up, or bring that point up enough, is how unprecedented this is in any other league with these results. A coach, it doesn't matter who the hell it was, would be fired. I think Southampton, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure there's been other examples of this. This isn't just like one team that's done this. This has probably happened several times. Southampton obviously is the last place team in the Premier League this year. And they've had 3 different managers this season. They've had 3 different managers this season because they were trying to stop from being relegated. If MLS had promotion relegation, there's no way that Vanny would have kept his job. But honestly, there's no consequences. What are the consequences? And look, I don't want to go on a pro rel like rant, because it is what it is. It's not happening in MLS. But a serious question is, what are the consequences of LA Galaxy being a horrible team? What are the consequences? They are the worst team in MLS history. What are the consequences for them being so bad? They've got 3 points in 13 games, and they could finish with 3 points for the rest of the season. They could literally have 3 points in 34 matches, and what would be their consequence? Not making the playoffs? The stakes just aren't high. And you know what's crazy too is in the Premier League. Oh, here we go. Oh, they scored. Looks like Christian Ramirez got the rebound. No, Marco Roy scored. Wow. So Marco Roy scores for LA Galaxy first. Off the rebound. Good start for the Galaxy. Attack looks good. 1-0 LA Galaxy over LAFC. Let's watch the replay on this. Gabriel Peck is looking good tonight. Was he offside, though? Couldn't tell from that angle. That was like the craziest lucky goal of all time, like off the knee. Well, Galaxy they struggle scoring goals. There you go. They got a goal. They did have 2 goals against the Union in the first half, and they ended up losing 3-2. But good start for LA Galaxy. Galaxy definitely looked like the better team in the first 6 minutes of this game. Kyle Hicks says they're betting on his past records. You make him sound like he didn't win 2 MLS Cups with 2 different teams. I mean, he did, but what did he do without Jovinko? What's he done without Ricky Puig? And here's another thing too. There have been worse teams in Major League Soccer than this LA Galaxy team. I mean, we're talking about, this is the worst start in MLS history, the history of the 30 years of the league. And there have been teams with less talent than this team, and he can't even get 1 win. It's not like we're saying he's got to be the first place team in the Western Conference. We're talking about a win. He has not got a single win all season long. Here's the problem too. If the LAFC or the Galaxy take the lead like they have, and then LA Galaxy end up choking and LAFC come back, that just makes it worse. But that's exactly what happened last week against the Union. Good start for the Galaxy, though. Look a lot better. Marco Royce has just been a huge disappointment for the Galaxy. Huge disappointment. He's 36 years old, if I'm not mistaken, or he'll be 36. A lot of people were saying he was washed when he came here in the summer of last year. He didn't have anything left. I think he was a role player, maybe not even a role player, like a reserve player that barely saw the pitch for Dortmund when he left in 2024. And a lot of people were skeptical about what he could do for the Galaxy or any MLS team. Keep in mind, Charlotte FC were trying to sign Marco Royce to a DP deal. They were going to pay him like $6 million a year. Imagine if Charlotte FC had paid $6 million a year for Marco Royce. Mr. says Vanny is a good front runner, but seemingly can't deal with any adversity. Yeah, it seems like he's got to have a perfect setup to really benefit or win. I mean, Sebastian Jovinko was like a player MLS had never seen before with the quality he had. He's absolutely tore the league up. Keep in mind, Greg Vanny does have 2 MLS Cup wins, but he also has like 2 MLS Cup losses. Uwe says, I think his TFC stint is what they're hoping to recreate. Yeah, but it's been 5. The thing is, it's been 5 years, man. If it hasn't happened, I don't know if it's going to. 80s nostalgia says Vanny out. He says Berhalter was fired for less. Fire the whole team, start over. Uwe says LFG. Mr. says damn. Uwe says Galaxy baby. Nice. Butter says Greg Vanny, we love you. I don't know about that. Keyshawn says poach out. No Name says, do you think we're going to see an Inter Miami reference in GTA 6 like we did with the Dolphins in the trailer? There was a Dolphins jersey, but named Vice City Manatees instead of Miami Dolphins. Not really sure. I mean, are we even going to see that game in the near future? I mean, they've moved the date back like, 3 times? Who knows if that game even comes out in the near future? So this is a very good start for the LA Galaxy. Guys, we have 40 of you in the stream. Make sure you like the stream down below if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get 50 likes on this stream. I think we can easily. We always normally hit that number, especially on live stream watch-alongs. Let's try to hit 50 likes. We're 40 away. Make sure you like it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the little bell notification so you never miss a video. And also, if you haven't considered being a member of the channel, it's only $2.99 a month. There's members-only live streams once a month. All your questions are always answered on the live streams. And there's also perks like we can play FIFA. There's members-only posts that I make to give you guys sneak peeks of what's to come on the channel. There's a lot of pros to being a member of the channel, so make sure you click on the link in the description below to become one today. Did you hear Messi is on Argentina's roster for the World Cup qualifiers this summer? I haven't heard that, but I mean, I'm not really surprised. Messi's kids will be retired by the time GTA 6 comes out. Probably. Maybe their kids will be born. Uwe says, do you know if MLS teams in the Club World Cup will keep the special signings for the rest of the season? So there's not really a special signing. The only thing that rule that came out, the report, is that the MLS teams aren't allowed to add players to the roster until July. I think is the earliest that the summer signings can play for the team. Now they're able to sign players through June 1st to June 10th, and they can go ahead and play for their team immediately. So it's not like you can sign a special player or anything like that. You just there's a special window to where teams can sign players to the roster for a 9-day period. They don't get any extra money or anything like that. Their window, they just have a special window where it's open a little early to be able to sign players. Gene Felipe says, Inter Miami is so bad, bro. Those Argentinian players are done. The team is just so old. So I made this post earlier about hoping to see players in their prime in the league because the guys that they have just are so old. They're not good anymore. Like Messi is obviously still pretty good, but everybody else is just not good. But Busquets is insanely bad to be making $10 million a year. Insanely bad. Oh, Bouanga with the golazo! Oh my God! Holy! And the front flip. Hey, this game is always a banger. This game is always a banger, guys. 100%. 100%. Every time this game is played, absolute fireworks. Oh my God. That was an absolute banger. Denny Bouanga with an absolute missile. Oh my God. From downtown LA. John McCarthy never had a chance on that. But I will say this, LA Galaxy's defense backline is absolute trash. Absolute hot garbage. That's why, even though they scored that goal with Marco Royce, it really doesn't matter because their backline is Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese backline. Denis Bouanga just absolutely cooked them. Denis Bouanga is trending in the right direction. Denis Bouanga is absolutely putting himself in the MVP conversation yet again. I think he has like 6 goals in 6 games now or something like that. He's absolutely cooking right now. Denis Bouanga is red hot in MLS right now. Red hot. And LA Galaxy just don't have the horses to compete with them. I mean, yes, Gabriel Peck is very good. Very, very good player. Maybe if Joseph Paintsel was playing in this game, I would feel better about it. That's a big loss as well, Joseph Paintsel not playing. But Gabriel Peck cannot do it by himself. Mr. said if they had 2 goalkeepers in goal, they wouldn't have saved that, right? I mean, that was an absolute missile. Absolute missile. Incredible. Prime Vela or Bouanga? Ooh. 2019 Vela is probably the best, probably top 2 player of all time in Major League Soccer. But Denis Bouanga is more consistent than Carlos Vela is. Way more consistent than Carlos Vela. Let's see what happens here. Ooh. I think Denis Bouanga has like 3 seasons in a row with 20 or this. Oh, Denny's cooking. Denny's cooking right now. Bouanga's trying to get like his 3rd season in a row with 20 goals or more. God, dude, so much space for the LAFC. So much space. The Galaxy are so bad at spacing. They're not good at marking. The backline is just terrible. Paintsville doesn't show up in El Traficos. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Bobby says, "Is Seattle linked with any players? Do you think that they will buy anyone big names before Club World Cup or just not take advantage of the opportunity they have?" They're not buying anybody. I don't think so. I think this Seattle Sounders team you see right now is what they're going to roll with into the Club World Cup. That's what they're going to roll with. Parker says, "Do you think Chiellini has a shot at being LAFC's manager?" Probably not. They probably want someone a little bit more established, someone who's actually been a first team manager, I would say. I mean, anything is possible, but I would think they'll probably hire someone who's more established. I think Jim Curtin could be a guy. Now, I did say this last night. I went on an Atlanta United Twitter space, X space, whatever you want to call it. And I did say that if they fire Ronnie Dyla, you have to keep an eye on Atlanta United for Jim Curtin. But I do think that LAFC are going to try to hire their next manager this summer and have it lined up in advance. Bouanga got the sauce. Yeah, he's crazy. Keyshawn says the Giroud signing was a massive F up on the LAFC part. They needed more of a false 9 to play with Bouanga. Yeah, either that or change their formation. I got to find this goal. I got to share this on Twitter. That goal was crazy. UB, whose crowd is louder? I can't really even hear it, honestly. I got my volume turned down, so that way I can focus on the chat and stuff. Now, and I think sometimes when I have my volume turned up on the stream, it can sometimes be played through my live stream. How many likes we got? 14 guys. Listen, we got 45 of you in the live stream. We got to get those likes up. We got to hit 50. Smash the like button down below if you haven't already. We got to hit 50 at least. We're at 14 right now. Smash the like button down below. Parker says, I hope that Kamara gets a coaching job soon. I think he has zero chance of breaking Wondolowski's record. I honestly haven't checked to see how close he was. I know that he's like, what is he, third all time now in scoring? Something like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is blood in the water. Uh-oh. LAFC are threatening again. Tillman. Oh, right to McCarthy. Keyshawn says LA needs someone of note. Need a coach of note. I agree with that. Adam says crazy. Keyshawn, MLS needs better managers. 100% definitely deficiency of MLS. Agent Winter says, do you think the LA Galaxy 2025 will be the worst season in MLS history? Possibly. It really depends. I mean, I don't know how many games you've watched in Montreal. Montreal is really, really bad. Like, really bad. They're the LA Galaxy have the worst record in MLS history. So technically they're the worst team in MLS history, but Montreal is one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Montreal is absolutely butt cheeks. They are terrible. Absolutely terrible team. Not fun to watch at all. Adam says, I'm not surprised Miami's back line. They're definitely going to lose to Palmeiras, the best team in Brazil right now. Yeah, probably. They're probably going to lose to every team in that group unless they sign something crazy. Hopefully not Kevin De Bruyne, because then they're really going to get smoked because they're going to be even older than they are. And hopefully they don't sign Angel Di Maria. He's not going to help them out at all. I'm going to be surprised if Evan Bush retires and signs to coach Montreal. Is Evan Bush still playing? I thought he retired a long time ago. Steven Perez says Inter Miami is a dumpster fire. MLS should be embarrassed. They are wasting the GOAT. Man, they wasted the GOAT a long time ago when they didn't do any changes to the league. His whole stay here has been a waste. It's been a huge disappointment. I don't think Messi being here has grown the game at all. Not even a little bit. Victor Osimhen. Hey, well, isn't he on loan with? Is it Galatasaray he's on loan with? But I think who was it that's Mr. Who was it that's rumored to buy him? Because there was a team. I think there was a Premier League team that was rumored. It wasn't Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken. There was a Premier League team that I think was rumored to buy him for like 75 million pounds or 75 million euros, I think. Agent Winter says, Mascherano and Vanny, my goats. I love you guys. I don't know who's worse at this point. Manuel says Bush is one of the crew's backups. Yeah, I think he was at Montreal. I honestly didn't even know Evan Bush was still playing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't heard that name in forever. Jason, there's no way Evan Bush is still playing. Let me look him up real quick. Yeah, Evan Bush is still playing. Yeah, he is the backup in Columbus. That's crazy. I honestly thought he was older than 39. I thought he was like 43, 44. Adam says Palmeiras came back and based on form, they're the best. I mean, even if Miami was playing well, I think they'd be in trouble with Palmeiras. Parker says, nope, he isn't at Columbus. He is at Columbus as a third string goalkeeper. No Name says LAFC owners own a team in Switzerland, the record winner, and they're one game away from being relegated. Would be the second time ever and the first since 2019. The LAFC owners took over in January of 2024. Donut Man says Man United. Yeah, I think that actually is who it is. Keyshawn says Chelsea. Q Kenny says if LA Galaxy lose, Vanny have been fired already. Yeah, that's look, the Galaxy fans are very passionate, obviously. If Vanny loses this game, I just don't know what's going to happen. I was talking to my buddy Chris Tucker the other day. Huge. They call him he's the LA Galaxy Godfather. He's the OG. And I was talking to him, and I'm just like, Chris, how does Vanny survive this? How do you lose to LAFC for your 14th game that's winless in 2025? How does he survive that? How does anyone survive that? And he just said he didn't know. I just think they're content with what's going on. Even if they're not playing well, they're content and seen enough to keep things going. Parker says Bush is 39 and is a Montreal legend. He can hang it up now and be a good goalkeepers coach like Ramondo with RSL. Is Ramondo the RSL goalkeepers coach? Adam says Flamengo, they're not doing that well, honestly. Evan Bush got a clean sheet versus New York City FC. I honestly didn't even know he played. Oh, I think that's yellow. Marquis Delgado taking out his former teammate. Keyshawn says Cucho has been cooking on Betis. Has he? I honestly haven't been paying attention to see what he's been. I should have. Just had too much other stuff going on. Has he scored for Betis yet? Let's see. Yeah, he's got 5 goals. Wow, he is doing pretty well. Not too bad. That's good. That actually is really good for MLS because there was always the stigma or the question if a player in MLS who was good could replicate the success in another league, especially if it was a step up. La Liga is obviously a step up. Tati Castellanos came here, played well, went to Girona, played well, got moved to Lazio. And then Cucho Hernandez really wasn't that good at Watford. He was okay. He had 5 goals in 25 appearances. Now he's doing decent at Betis. That's good. That's what you like to see. That helps the league. Mr. says, yes, he's leaving Napoli in the summer. He's been linked with Chelsea and Manchester United, but with Manchester United affording Osimhen would depend on the Europa League final. Interesting. He seems like he would definitely be a Chelsea player anyway, to be honest with you. Ricky Pooge in the building. Josh Gibson says, what do you think is going on with Miami? There's a lot going on with Miami. They don't have a good back line. The goalkeeper is a huge question mark. Gustari was never supposed to be the starter. They should have traded Drake Callender. And they just don't have a young attacker. They don't have a dog. They don't have a guy up there who's just like a lethal threat. All their players are either super young or they're too old. They don't have any great talents that are in their prime. They just don't. I highly doubt they fire Vanny if he loses. The only way they're going to fire Vanny at this point, I think, is if they just keep losing and they don't have any wins. If Vanny doesn't win a game this year, which, I mean, you would think he would, right? I mean, my God, if he doesn't win a game this year, there's a lot of questions. Maybe everybody gets fired. But if he doesn't win a game this year, I mean, I think he would be fired. It doesn't matter if he signed an extension or not. The Galaxy are just going to have to write a check. They're just going to have to pay him not to coach his team. Taylor Twellman commentary makes me want to turn off the TV. I mean, Taylor is okay. I'm just not a big fan of Jake Zevin. I'm not. I can't believe that he's the. I mean, he's a nice guy. I no personal issues with Jake Zevin. I just don't think he's that good. I can't believe he's the ace. He's the A-team commentator. Ooh, David Martinez was close. Josh Gibson says they've won one of their last 5, including tonight. I think that at Inter Miami, I looked it up. If you include the Champions League, they've only won one of their last 7 games. Keyshawn says he's probably close with the owner. Greg Vanny, yeah, probably. Agent Winter says, I think the extension sees Vanny make it to MD20. What fan section in America is, in your opinion, the best? Like, with atmosphere, showing up to away games, just making noise, or the one you would show, or the one would show in a European, regardless of league? Best fan base in America. I mean, that's really tough, honestly, because I've only been to a couple games. I will say this, though, just from my experience, Charlotte FC is a really good fan base. When I went to their game, they were electric. They were loud. They were excited. The pregame festivities were incredible. That was a great experience. And then when I went to Nashville SC's first game ever, their inaugural match in 2020, they played Atlanta United. And those Atlanta United fans traveled. I mean, the stadium was like 30 or 40% Atlanta United of the fans that were there. It was like 30 or 40% Atlanta United. So as far as atmospheres of games I've been to, Charlotte FC by far. And as far as away fans, it's definitely Atlanta United, just from my personal experience. Manuel says Cucho and Anthony looking good at Real Betis. That's good. That's good for MLS, honestly, because if you prove that you can come here, dominate, play well, move to a big league, play well there, that helps MLS lure certain players to come here and prove that you can make the move to a bigger league. QK says 9 more years, then we can win MLS Cup again. Turning back the clock. Keyshawn says Drogba is his idol. Drogba is his... Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Ocean, you're talking about. Parker says they traded their young attacker to New England. When that happened, I said they were going to be screwed. Keyshawn says, what do you think is wrong with Atlanta United? What is not wrong with Atlanta United? Garth Lagerwade signed the wrong guys. They signed a championship striker for $30 million who can't score goals. That is a huge red flag. Huge red flag. That was their first mistake. And they really don't have much roster flexibility right now because they've used all their DP spots. I know they do have two U22 spots, which it does help, right? But you spent $30 million on a striker who's not scoring. You spent $12 million on a cam, attacking midfielder who doesn't really do anything. And then Miguel Miron is just not really doing anything either. Their DPs have all been busts. All 3 of them have been terrible. And then their coach sucks. He's got 2 wins this year. Martinez, man. Uwe says Portland. As far as atmospheres, yeah, I really would like to check out a Portland game. Hopefully, one day I can check out. If everything goes as planned and the channel keeps growing, I can check out every single MLS venue, experience it all, see how it is, watch a game. Definitely on the bucket list to go to every MLS stadium at least one time. I've been to 3 so far. Josh Gibson says, do you think Emmanuel Latilat is underperforming? Hell yeah, he's underperforming. He looks terrible. I knew that was going to be a bad... I got criticized like crazy for saying that was a bad signing. People saying I didn't know what I was talking about. I couldn't read the metrics, how good he was in the championship, even though he's never scored a goal in a first division league. It's been all second division leagues. I was told I was crazy and I didn't understand the metrics and how good he was going to be. And I was just being a hater. And I knew that Kevin Danke was going to be a better signing. And the thing is that Kevin Danke was cheaper. He was like $10 million cheaper, and he's way better. And his team is in first place in the East, and Atlanta United is in 14th place. Q cases, I know San Jose is very happy. Yeah, of course. They look a lot better this year. Uwe says, I would mention Seattle, but that fight and win chant is a no. Yeah, they've really fallen off the last 5 or 6 years. Casey Ellis says, FC Cincinnati, best crowd in the league. Now, FC Cincinnati has a great stadium. Great stadium. TQL Stadium is probably the best stadium in the league as far as it's the most similar to a European stadium in MLS. I definitely want to go check out a game there. Definitely want to go check out a game out at TQL Stadium. It looks absolutely incredible. And it doesn't hurt that Cincinnati's a great team as well. Uwe says, speaking of chants, USMNT needs new chants. Probably, but USMNT is just really, really low right now. There's a lot of other things they need to prioritize, to be honest with you. Parker says, I'm talking Campana, Inter Miami, trading him. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, they just couldn't keep him, though. They couldn't keep him with the financial rules in MLS. They couldn't afford to keep him this season. They would have had to probably move off of Luis Suarez, which obviously in hindsight looks like it would have been a better move, but they weren't going to do that. They were going to keep Suarez over Leo Campana. But I don't even, has Leo Campana really done much for New England this year? I don't know how many goals he has, but I don't really think I've heard him much this season. Let's see. Longa. Make sure I spelled this right.
This is where the question of chance creation when the team sits in against you. Does LAFC have
No Name says Uwe. Okay, so he's replying. Yeah, it's also weird to me that they're filming in the ultra section like it's a family event instead of ultra section, which are normally known for being anarchist, and that's interesting. Akishon says Choupo-Moting has been playing pretty well. Yeah, he has. He's been playing pretty well for the Red Bulls. He's looked really good lately. Helped them kind of turn things around a little bit. They kind of started off slow, but he's definitely helped them. They didn't look very good yesterday, but he has played pretty well this year. Mendel says FC Cincinnati is a nice place to see a game, especially the 2023 Eastern Conference Championship. Yeah, because you guys beat them, because you're a Crew fan, if I'm not mistaken. Uwe says, speaking of Portland, I hope they get their own soccer-specific stadium. They can easily get 30 to 40,000 fans. Yeah, but Providence Park is just so iconic. The only thing, they made some major renovations to. They made some major renovations to Providence Park like maybe 5-6 years ago. The only thing they need to change in Providence Park is they need to change it from turf to grass. Put in Under or Ibobase. Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely need to put Under in for sure. Josh Gibson says, who do you think should have this? Like, who should win? Oh, who do I think should have won, San Diego or Sporting Kansas City? Probably San Diego. Jay says Seattle used to have one of the strongest supporter sections in the league, but just like their club, their fans have fallen off. Yeah, I agree. They don't spend as much money as they used to. They used to be an ambitious team. Now, no longer they are. No longer. They were kind of like the standard for the league. They just don't do that anymore. Uwe says, are you a Cali native? Did you hear Temecula is getting a team? I don't know what division though. No, I was born and live in Tennessee. I've lived here my whole life. I know I got the Kobe stuff, but I've just been a huge Lakers fan since I was like 8 years old. So that's why I got the Kobe stuff. I also kind of like the Dodgers because Tennessee doesn't have a baseball team. So I like the Lakers, I like the Dodgers. Tennessee Titans are my NFL team. And then obviously Barca is my soccer team. Keyshawn says, who is better, Chris Brady or Matt Freese? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd say Chris Brady because he's got a higher ceiling, in my opinion. I think Chris Brady could be the number one for our country. I think Chris Brady is better than Gaga Slonina. He's a better prospect at this point, and I think he's going to be a better pro. Q Kenny says, I know going to get hate, but I think Mexican-American players are better than the ones in Mexico. Mexican-American players are better than the ones in Mexico. Like who? Who specifically are you talking about? What do you think about the 7-0 game? You talking about the Red Bulls game? I mean, it was embarrassing. It was terrible. I would have fired Vanny after that game. I can't believe that's one of his last 2 games, which both were losses, and he got an extension. I'll never understand that. Never understand how they extended him. No Name says MLS teams could be so much better if that stupid salary cap and weird financial rules weren't a thing. MLS could dominate CONCACAF more than Brazil does in South America, but MLS is limiting itself. It's MLS has always been its worst enemy, its own worst enemy. MLS pretends like they have to have these rules, but they're the ones making the rules. So it's so stupid. They always want to tie a hand behind their back. MLS does. Not really sure why, but they do. Oh, close. Just wide by Segura. Just wide by Segura.
Second, third phase defending for this set piece.
3 shot attempts by LAFC.
Ball pops out Martinez, but then it hits Segura right here. Great first touch. Looked like it was deflected from.
Would you have trusted Mascherano to have dropped Suarez for Campana? Mascherano is so inexperienced. He's making a bad rookie, making bad rookie decisions. I don't trust Mascherano in general just because we know why he was hired, right? Now, his resume as a player is incredible. And that probably would get you your foot in the door for certain jobs, right? Let's be honest. I mean, if you have a great playing resume, it obviously doesn't hurt to get you a decent job as a coach, right? But the problem is that he also got the job because of Messi. And he's proven that he's just not good. An important manager. How do I word this? He's not good at doing things that a manager has to be good at to be effective. He's not good at rotating. He's not good at making subs. He's not good at he changed the formation for some reason. It was a 4-3-3 last year. Now he's playing in a 4-4-2. Not sure why he's doing that. And like Wingate is terrible at right back. He's not good. And he plays him. He didn't play today, but he played a lot longer than he should have. I don't really understand that. Uwe says, I'm just saying because I know they can match Seattle in attendance numbers. Yeah, I mean, Portland definitely could, but I doubt they probably will. Jay says Nashville and Salt Lake are both getting MLB teams in the near future, by the way. I hope Nashville does, but it's too late for me. I'm a Dodgers fan. Q Kenny says, Will, what NFL team you hate? What team do I hate the most? NFL team. Ooh, it's a tough one. Either the Steelers. I mean, I hate the Chiefs. Everybody hates the Chiefs, right? I mean, that's kind of goes with it now. But I hate the Steelers, the Texans, the Colts, and the Jaguars. But I hate the Texans, the Colts, and the Steelers the most. I hate them. Absolutely hate them. So I'm assuming Nashville SC is your team. What do you make of them? I don't have a team. I don't support any MLS team. The only soccer team I really support passionately is Barcelona, USMNT, and Germany. I have a couple teams I like in Europe. Like I like Ajax. I liked Juve. I really don't have a Premier League team, to be honest with you. There's a lot of teams I'm a fan of in Europe, but Barca, Germany, USMNT are my only soccer teams that I'm like super, super passionate about. I agree. Brian Gutierrez is a huge talent. So is Luna. Yeah, for sure. Mr. says Matt Freeze right now, but Chris Brady will be better. 100%. Although Mexico is starting to send talent abroad now. Finally, right? Matthew Dominguez says LA Galaxy, New York Cosmos. And what do you mean by that? Donut Man says, nah, but losing to Sporting Kansas City by an own goal is insane when they have 0 shots. That right there is another thing, too. That's crazy. The resume or the list of failures this team has had this year, the Galaxy, is incredible. It's insane. It's almost hard to believe. Bad giveaway by the Galaxy. Oh, Boanga. Oh, John Nelson with a good save right there. Here we go. No Name says, do you think if USL gets the first division title that they applied to, that they could get rich owners who will make one or two teams super OP, which would dominate MLS teams in the CONCACAF Champions League? I mean, it's possible, but I think in order to do that, they'd have to make some money. Like MLS could definitely spend more than what they are if they're making as much money as they say they are. But who knows if they're actually telling the truth on that? It would be interesting to see if they could. I think it would be more. I think it would be more realistic that they would be, maybe win the U.S. Open Cup first before they got to that point. But we'll see. We'll see. Uwe says, "Man, I wish New York Cosmos make a comeback. I mean, it could, and USL, it could happen." Q Kenny says, "Diego Luna, Pepe, Cade Cow, Alejandro Zendejas." Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some very good Mexican American players for sure. Josh Gibson says, "How many games do you think the Galaxy is winning this season? Just MLS? Maybe two, maybe." Uwe says that, yeah, if they all played for Mexico, that would be insane. They definitely have some talent. Matthew Dominguez says, Will is secretly a Galaxy fan. That's why he loves them. That's why we love him. Ah, gotcha. No, I'm not. I mean, the Galaxy, I'm very passionate about what's going on with the Galaxy, for one, because it's a hot topic, right? But also, too, it's good for the league when the Galaxy are competitive. I mean, who would deny that? Who would deny the Galaxy being good is bad for the league? It's good for the league. It's great when your most successful team is good. I mean, imagine what would happen to La Liga if Barcelona and Madrid weren't good. I mean, the only team that'd be happy with that would be Atletico Madrid. Josh says, I live in KC, so I'm a Chiefs fan, but I understand why y'all hate us. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Chiefs fan. Mr. Come on, man. We got to get you a new team. Were you a fan because of Joe Montana? What's up with this pitch? Very blocky looking. Let's see. I mean, it does look a little weird. Maybe they had a concert last night or something. The pitch does look like shit, honestly. It does look pretty bad. Come on, Will. You know you love us. Nah, I mean, I definitely want to see the Galaxy competing. I want to see LAFC competing. I want to see the best teams in the league competing. It's good for the league. Wait, you're an LAFC hater? Nah, I'm not a hater of anybody. No Name says, most football fans in America reject MLS for not having Pro Rel. Do you think USL, if they get Pro Rel, could rival MLS in attendance, media presence? Yeah, MLS had famous retirees, but USL is real. Probably not. I think what inevitably happens is that MLS is going to acquire USL. That's probably what's going to happen. I don't know when, but that's what I think is the most likely outcome from this whole thing. MLS will just acquire USL. And that's the first half. LAFC won. LA Galaxy won. Pretty competitive game. LA Galaxy obviously had some good opportunities. Gabriel Peck was probably the best player in the first half for the Galaxy. Denny Bouanga obviously was the best player in the first half for LAFC. David Martinez had a couple opportunities, but wasn't able to capitalize on them. I'm going to see if I can get Nick in here to let me know what his thoughts were in the first half. Kenny says LA Galaxy has been MLS favorites child back in the day. Been their favorite child since back in the day. Yeah, I agree with that. Matthew says, Will love Donovan, LA fan confirmed. Yeah, I definitely do love Landon Donovan, USMNT legend. Even though some of the things he says these days is very, very questionable. Very questionable. Uwe says, if you had to pick a big three of MLS, like most European leagues, who do you think they are? Ooh, uh, big three MLS. I mean, I could tell you who it would be if there was no restrictions and we went to like the European model. I could tell you who it would be. Are you saying like as far as success? Are we talking about potential? Matthew says MLS acquiring USL would be horrible for soccer in America. It probably would be, but that's probably what's going to happen. Jane the Man says if MLS acquired USL, they still have tiers. It will still have tiers. Yeah, maybe that's how they get to their. I would be curious to see if they did acquire them, if any of the teams that were in USL would make the jump to MLS. Eric Schublat says, I've watched your videos for a while and agree with a lot of your takes, but I'm a Galaxy fan and have watched every game this season. It's not Greg. If LA had 2 or 3 wins, would you still be Vanny out? No, I wouldn't. I'll say that thought, Eric. I appreciate it because I got Nick in here. I got to bring him in. Nick, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
All right, break it down for me.
There we go. Shoots. LAFC didn't show up at the very first of the first 15 minutes. Looking good now, though. Like what I see for the last, after the first 15 minutes. Denis Belonga won an absolute banger. Could be the goal of the season for LAFC as of right now. Obviously, we're still early in the season. That will be one that we go back and look at for the goal for the season. It was a banger. Not feeling Hollingshead and Segura over there trying to guard Peck. That just feels a little shaky for me. But nonetheless, LAFC is starting to figure out the path that they need to take for this game. Again, not really sure that they showed up the first 15 minutes. Definitely are not playing the way that they played against Seattle, but it feels like things are turning around.
Do you want to share with the audience what your score prediction was on the phone with me the other day?
6-0.
6-0. Listen, man, this game, this is just how it is, man. It does not matter how down bad one of these. If LAFC is terrible, if LA Galaxy are terrible, it doesn't matter. This is a rivalry game. They always get up for it, and they're always going to play. It's always going to be a good game. I can't wait to see what happens in the second half, man. That was the best. No joke, Nick. That was the best game I've seen either of these teams play. Quality. I'm talking about with their opponents too, like back and forth. I've seen either of these teams play this season. Now, obviously, the LAFC smoked Seattle. They just dominated them. But back and forth, both teams going even. This is the best game I've seen either team played this year.
Yeah, I mean, Galaxy definitely is controlling the ball more. I think last I looked, it was like a 53 or 43, 50 something. So, I would prefer it the other way around. That's why LAFC played so well against Seattle. They controlled the game, right, with 62%. For most of the game, it was 65, ended at 61. Second half, they had about 62% until the last few minutes of the game. And I would prefer that in this game. I would prefer us trying to control the ball. However, it's pretty even. It's pretty back and forth. Look, Galaxy are down bad. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This isn't a dig because I'm an LAFC fan. They're down really, really bad, not having won a game. So coming into El Trafico, not only do they want to win the derby, but they want to win a game. And what better team to beat than LAFC? In their minds. LAFC coming off of a 6-game losing streak right now. They've been playing really well the last 6 games. The 6th game being the one against Seattle where they absolutely dominated, just came in sluggish and not, didn't seem like they were up for it. But as I said, after the first 15 minutes, you've seen that they are. I think this second half is going to be real telling. We're going to see what both teams are made of. If everything goes right, LAFC will run it up. If not, you're going to see, Galaxy feel like they've got some wind in their sail from a team that's not running away with it, and their confidence is going to build, and that's something that LAFC does not want to happen.
100%. And what about Denny Bouanga, man? Dude has just completely he has entered the chat for the MVP race of the league. I mean, what is this? 7 goals in 7 games, 6 goals in 7 games, something like that. Absolutely cooking right now.
Yeah, Denny looks absolutely fantastic. Happy with the progress that he's made. What I would say, actually, the last 8-9 games, you've seen him start to come alive. But as you said, the last 7, he's scoring in all of them, which is a big deal. I think the young guns, the Martinez's and Ordaz's, have not had their best game or the best start to a game this particular game. I know a lot of people are wondering maybe what about Under or a Giroud, because these are the type of games that those types of guys come alive in. So we'll see, you know what I mean? I just definitely think Ordaz and Martinez need to step up a little bit. Midfield's looking okay, but the defense, I'm a little worried about. Looking better the last 5-10 minutes. I thought they looked the best that they've looked the whole game, but Hollingshead has a big task over there, so we have to keep an eye on that a lot.
I didn't think Markey looked too good. He looked a little, I don't want to say shaky, but he is playing his former team. Maybe emotions running high. They just gained a championship ring like yesterday or something like that. So I think maybe, I don't want to say he's checked out, but I think he might be a little rattled mentally just because it's his former club and it's a big game. And also, too, Nick, it's like one of those things where you're like, I want to prove you wrong of why you got rid of me. I want to make, I'm like, he just doesn't look as good as he has in other games this year.
Yeah, that's been a topic for the last 2 days about that. Look, I think he deserves his flowers and he deserved to get that ring. But I seen what Brian Phillips said on the beginning show, and I agree with a lot of that. Also, I would preferred this to be after the game or not during the El Trafico or something like that, but that's how teams do it. They bring them in. I mean, people are talking about what Dallas did for Lakers. What's his name? When he came and visited. So I mean, it's a very common thing to do, but I don't like the fact that it was before this game. I don't. However, he deserves to get his ring. He won it, and he deserves to get his flowers like everybody else did. But I just don't really like the timing of when it was given. You know what I mean? And that's selfish for myself, really. You know what I mean? As a fan of LAFC.
I think that was the plan, though. I think the Galaxy knew
for sure. And but we're talking about how it might have got it. I actually think it got in his head a little bit, as you're saying. And so, yeah, I think there's some emotions there. But hopefully we can get past that the second half.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask the chat. Chat, let me know down below, who do you think is going to win this match? Because we're about to get Nick's second half thoughts. Who's going to win this first installment of El Trafico 2025? LA Galaxy, LFC are tied 1-1 at the half. Who do you guys think will win this match? Let me know what you think the score is going to be. The final, Nick, 1-1, anybody's game. LAFC, Denny Bouanga playing as well as he has. Gabriel Peck has been playing really well too on the right side for the Galaxy. Looks like he's threatening, maybe could score at some point in this game.
Yep.
So obviously your tune's going to change a little bit because we've seen the first half. What do you think the final score is going to be?
6-2.
So did you smoke before you came on here?
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I really think so. I think the second half is going to be a lot more open than we expect, right? Because look, LAFC and any El Trafico game really has always had more than 4 goals in it. And so I don't expect this one to be any different. I think the second half is going to open up a lot more. I hope the 6-2 is in LAFC's favor. I don't think we could make it 6-1. And so I'm going to say 6-2. I know that's crazy, but I think LAFC is going to really come out this next half and we can put in some bangers. That's what I'm hoping. That's bias, but that's what I'm hoping.
I think it's going to be 4-2 LAFC.
4-2. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
so
that
I have two more goals than you. That's not unrealistic, bro.
dude, that's crazy.
No, it
5
ain't.
goals and a half. That's crazy.
Dude, we've seen it plenty of times with El Trafico, though.
We ain't never seen anybody win 6-2.
Not 5, no, but we've seen what, 5-4. We've seen quite some big scoring games with this derby, So
Yeah.
I don't know why this would be any different. To think that it's going to even stay 1-1 or 2-1 is silly because we've never had a game that low.
Yeah, a lot of people think LAFC is going to win, except for Josh. He says he thinks Galaxy are going to win. No, he thinks Galaxy are going to lose 2-1. Burns says he thinks LAFC are going to win. Josh says actually going to say 3-1 or Die scores and they win 3-1. I think that they're going to win 4-2 LAFC. I think Denny's going to have a brace, maybe even a hat trick. And then I think Under's going to come in the second half. I think he's going to tear it up because you have the fresh legs and he's been looking better for LAFC.
And we might even bring in Giroud and we get some type of beautiful header, bro. This is the type of games that happens in. So
Yeah.
I'm for it. I'm all for it, man.
But if they do win 4-2, that is definitely another absolute blunder by the Galaxy, especially after the bad week they've had off the pitch and on the pitch. Horrible week for the Galaxy.
That's right.
And also, too, Nick, keep this in mind. Galaxy didn't lose a game last year at home. Didn't lose a single game at home last year. So beating even with as bad as they have been, I don't think LAFC have beaten the Galaxy at the Galaxy's home stadium many times in this existence of this. I think that both teams normally dominate their home stadiums. That's just kind of how it is.
This is very true.
So that would be very impressive to beat them at their place, which it's been done before, but it would be an impressive win and it would just keep carrying them. And I told you this a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last Monday. Time flies, right? That LAFC needed to build on momentum, especially with that Club World Cup game or play-in game at the end of this month. They needed to get some momentum and get some wins under their belt. And it looks like that's happening. They look good. Denny Bouanga is the key to this season. You always have to rely on your best player, your X factor. And if he's scoring like this, anything's possible. LAFC could be back. They got to add some pieces, but I mean, they are definitely trending at the right time this season.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you got to think, man, Montreal and then the SKC game got dropped, so their next game will be America, and so they can put it all out there this game to be able to recruit, and so they have nothing to lose. Might as well leave it all out on the pitch today. So
100%.
Yeah.
Nick, I appreciate you for stopping by the second half. But before I let you go,
appreciate it.
Tell the people where they can listen to you after the game.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna do a Spaces. You can go to my Twitter, and we're gonna do or my X, and we're gonna do Spaces after this show, and then Mondays, Voice of the Black and Gold. We're gonna talk all things LAFC. Come on through, man. Be nice.
Appreciate you for stopping by. Yep, I'll definitely be there tonight. I'm gonna repost it so you guys can see it on my Twitter account or X account at MLS Moves. Check it out. We're gonna be in there later tonight to talk about this game. Appreciate you, Nick. We'll see what happens in the second half.
Thanks for having me, brother. Thanks for having me, man.
Appreciate it. See you later. All right, guys. Before the second half kicks back off, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. Hour and 20 minutes of talking, drinking a lot of waters, a lot of liquid. I gotta use the restroom real quick. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Be right back. All right, second half is underway. LA Galaxy, LAFC 1-1. Let's see what happens. Uwe says potty break. Need some elevator music. Yeah, next time I'll put the tunes back on when I leave. Matthew Dominguez says, I think you don't like my opinion, so you think I'm reaching. Oh, so we got an argument here about plastic clubs. I'm starting to believe that if LAFC can win this match and they can keep this momentum going, I think LAFC might be able to do something that they typically don't do in the Steve Cherundolo era, winning big games like it's not a championship, but it's a high pressure game. I think that if they win this game, they could make or beat Club America to make it to the Club World Cup, which with the way that Seattle has been playing this year, they've been terrible, inconsistent. And the way that Inter Miami is playing right now, Inter Miami is terrible right now. They need LAFC. They need to make sure they get as many teams as possible in that tournament that can represent MLS. And here's the thing. If MLS has 3 teams and they all get embarrassed, maybe that will be a wake-up call for the league to say, hey, you know what? Why is it that we're getting embarrassed by these other teams? Oh, yeah, it's because our salary cap is $5 million. Will, if LAFC wins this match, Vanny needs to get fired. I mean, they're not going to fire him because they don't want LAFC to feel like they got him fired, but I agree with you. They should have never signed that extension. You guys can check out my live stream I did on it when the news broke Friday, I think. Did I think it was an hour live stream talking about the extension, went into detail about his record as the manager and all of that. You guys should check that out. It was, pretty good episode. Went over all the stuff and even used managers historically who have won the league the year before and then got fired the next year. It's happened many, many times, especially in Europe. Very common for a team to win the league and then fire their manager the next season. Very, very common. How much longer do you think the Galaxy are going to go winless? I mean, if they lose this game, who knows? I mean, I think there's a chance they could go winless in 20. I mean, technically, if they draw this game, they're still winless. I mean, this team is just. And then Kevin Baxter was telling me in an episode I did a couple weeks ago with him that the LA Galaxy might get Ricky Puig back in August, but he'll probably be gradually brought back into the first team because they don't want to rush him and get him re-injured, obviously. And sometimes it takes a while to get your legs back when you tear your ACL. Sebastian Lletget felt like he was down for he played, but he wasn't good for 2 years because of the ACL tear. Or was it an Achilles rupture? Either way, whatever his injury was, it felt like it was forever, and he really was not the same. So we'll see how they bring him back. But I'm not expecting much from Ricky Puig in 2025. 2026 is where I expect him to get back to his normal self. Oh, good ball. Oh, Ordaz scores. 2-1 LAFC. Beautiful pass to Ordaz to score. LAFC up 2-1. Ordaz puts LAFC up 2-1 over the LA Galaxy. I'm telling you, I just don't know what the LA Galaxy fans are going to do if they lose this game. They could not have picked a worse time to announce this re-signing. They could not have picked a worse time. Great finish by Ordaz, by the way. Was that Hollingshead that had the assist? I think it was. Great. Yeah, Hollingshead. Beautiful pass from Hollingshead. Great finish by Ordaz. LA Galaxy backline is just absolutely atrocious. Here comes the collapse. Well, if LAFC wins this match, okay, I read that one already. My bad. Let's see. Can the Galaxy make any signings this summer? I don't think so. I think they're pretty strapped financially. They'd have to buy someone out. Q Kenny says it also makes Will Kuntz look bad. It makes Will Kuntz look terrible that he would hitch his wagon to Greg Vanney. And like essentially Greg Vanney is Will Kuntz's anchor. This guy Will Kuntz wants to coach in Europe. Will Kuntz wants to be in Europe one day. Not with this. Yeah, he won an MLS Cup 100%. Help build this team into an MLS Cup contender. But it's been completely erased by this historically bad season. So he is nowhere closer to being a European technical director, general manager, whatever you want to call him, than he was 2 years ago. He's no closer to doing that than he was 2 years ago because of how bad the collapse was for the LA Galaxy in 2020 and 2025. No Name says, you said MLS would acquire USL. What do you think they will do? Stay the same or implement Pro Rel with them? I really don't know. It really just depends on what teams are involved and how much they buy them for. Butterdog says, don't have high expectations for Puig when he's back from injury. For the couple months, it's going to take a long time to recover. Absolutely agree. Butterdog says 2-1 LAFC. Mr. says, here comes the collapse. Josh Gibson says, I told you Ordaz was going to score. Is the collapse coming? It could. They collapsed on Wednesday. They were up 2-0 against the Union and absolutely, completely collapsed. Is Ordaz USMNT eligible? I think he is. I mean, he's a homegrown for LAFC, if I'm not mistaken. Keyshawn says, do you think Marco Royce is regretting going to the Galaxy? I think the LA Galaxy are regretting signing him more than he regrets coming here. I mean, they're paying him like $1.6 million, and he's not good. He's terrible. He's not good. Guys, make sure if you haven't already to like the stream down below. We have 30 likes. We're trying to hit 50. We're only 20 away. Make sure you hit the like button down below and also subscribe to the channel. We're 29 subscribers away from 7,000. We're going to try to hit 7,000 by the end of this month. We got the CONCACAF Champions Cup final. We have a lot of big stuff preparing for the FIFA Club World Cup. A lot of content coming. Have Tab Ramos on the channel tomorrow. I'm gonna record a video with him. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos. Matthew Dominguez says, at least we know how to organize a boycott. Allison says, in which channel can I see the match? You'd have to have, I don't think it's on YouTube. You have to have Apple TV. PVBC says, Nathan Ordaz already plays for El Salvador. That's right. Yeah, he does. Has he made enough caps, though, to where he can't switch? He can't switch, though? I don't know how many caps he has for El Salvador. Let's see. Butterdog says, like up. Yes, like the channel or like the stream down below. Like it up. Let's try to get to 50, and also subscribe if you haven't already. Mr. says, Royce just looks like he's aged out. He looks terrible. And look, I don't watch as much Bundesliga as I would like. You know, I'm kind of stretched in on what games I can watch at this point. But if I remember correctly, his later days at Dortmund, he really wasn't playing that much. He was a reserve off the bench towards the end. Uwe says, I loved him in his prime, one of the best wingers, but father time has come for him. You're talking about Marco Royce? And he also, I think he was like the Bundesliga player of the year like 3 times, right? That third Kit Royce jersey goes so hard as long as you ignore any content. Yeah. Hey, at least Marco Royce wasn't a DP. At least Marco Royce wasn't a DP. Then it would have been really, really bad. You would have been like LAFC with Olivier Giroud. I'm curious to see what kind of players are brought to the league this year. Who comes over, what team signs who, what the fee's going to be. Like the Crew are going to obviously sign a new striker to replace Cucho Hernandez. Can't wait to see who they bring in. There's so many teams. Hopefully Miami brings in a DP striker or a DP winger, somebody who can give them someone in their prime, for God's sake. Like Jorge Mas says he's willing to spend money, but I want to see him put his money where his mouth is. I want to see him go sign a DP that's $15 million, who's 26, 27 years old, who's at the best version of themselves. They're not too young, they're not too old. I want to see him put his money where his mouth is. I want to see him put his money where his mouth is. He says he's willing to spend whatever it takes, and I haven't seen it yet. All the big name players he signs are on free transfers. All the players he pays transfer fees are $5 to $6 million in their U22s. I want to see him put his money where his mouth is and sign a DP who is in their prime, 26, 25 to 27 years old. And I want to see him spend $15 million on him. Josh Gibson says, I met Peck, Paintsel, and Royce at the Sporting Kansas City game after it was over. That's pretty cool. Hopefully they were friendly guys. Uwe says he moved to center because he lost his pace. Yes, for sure. Matthew Dominguez says Royce just can't play without a striker. Yeah, Chris Ramirez is my guy. I would consider him to be a friend, and he was never supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be a bridge guy, but Matthias Nascimento has been absolutely terrible. That's why if I was the Galaxy with the limited resources they have this summer, I would end his loan early and try to swing again, try to get another U22 striker who can actually play. They need someone who can actually play. Beardog says, at least Royce won a trophy. Happy for him, but it's time for him to go. Oh. Mr. says the problem with Royce was he was always injury prone, so Dortmund used him sparingly. Yeah, wasn't Royce, because every big German player is always linked with him, but wasn't Royce linked with Bayern several times and he turned them down because he didn't want to play? He didn't want to, I guess, but you could say betray Dortmund. I know he played for Klopp for a while. The best version of him was when he played with Klopp. I remember Aubameyang and him playing for. I think they played. Yeah, Aubameyang played with. That was a lethal team. Oh God. Ooh. Dangerous play by McCarthy. Oh God, and he hurt David Martinez. Uwe says, who I wished would came over to MLS was Alexis Sanchez. But not nowadays, though. He's probably washed at this point, honestly. Yeah, there's a lot of players I wish we could have seen. He should sign Osimhen. Yeah, I mean, let's watch the replay on this. I want to see this injury. Oh. That was clean. That was clean, though. Can't lie. That was definitely clean. What did he land on? Did he hurt his shoulder? Yeah, he hurt his shoulder. Maybe he dislocated his shoulder or something, maybe. I'm just speculating. Maybe that was a pretty tough fall for David Martinez. PVBC says, Nascimento is beyond a joke. Lightweight, shit touch, doesn't run. Galaxy would have been better off getting a Duncan Maguire. Yeah, I mean, he's not good, especially considering what you guys could pay for him. I think he's got like a purchase option of like $7 or $8 million. There's no way I'd pay that for him. Absolutely no way I would pay that for him. So you guys should honestly cut your ties with him because he's not good and try to swing again. Try to go get another player. Try to go get a guy, a U22 who is actually played. If I'm not mistaken, Nascimento's on loan from Botafogo, and he did not even play for them. He's injury prone. That's all the comments I saw when he got signed over was, yeah, this guy's good. He's just super injury prone. Super injury prone. Josh Gibson says, who do you think is currently the best MLS player? Oh, probably Evander or Denke. I think Cincinnati has two of the best players in the league, like probably two of the top 5 players in MLS. You could put Ty Baribo has been really good for Philadelphia too. He's got 11 goals. He's like in the driver's seat for the MLS Golden Boot. Ebobisse coming in for Das. Looks like Under's coming in for David Martinez. Uwe says, you think Mueller would be good in MLS, or would you think his lack of athleticism would be a hindrance? Oh, Joseph Painsel's coming in for the Galaxy. Now, maybe I'm crazy on this, but I actually think Mueller would be just like Royce at this point. You guys let me know if you agree with that, but I think at this point, Muller would just be another Marco Royce. Aged player, no athleticism, technical, but could they adapt to a league as physical as MLS at this point in their career, and how long would they last? I guess Muller at the right situation would be okay, but with LAFC, I don't think it would be. I think it would be a bad signing. I don't think they need to keep signing older players like that. That's just my opinion. I would not sign him if I were them. Buwanga, Ebobase, Under up top. Yep. Butterdog says, have you seen the Serie A title race? I think isn't Inter in first place? I know Juve's like number 4 or number 5. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Oh, Napoli. Okay, yeah. So Napoli's in first place, 1 point ahead, 1 game left. That's going to be a crazy battle. Juve's number 4. So it's going to come down to the final week. That's going to be a great. It'd be incredible if they played each other. Uwe says, I think the same unless the quality around him is as good as him. Yeah, I think so. I think Thomas Muller, I wouldn't sign him personally unless you're just like one player away. You can't expect him to be the guy. You can't sign him as a DP. No way. As an LAFC fan, I agree. Julio says. I mean, you can't have 2 old guys like Giroud and Thomas Muller. You can't have 2 guys like that. And where would Thomas Muller even play? Where would he play on this team right now? Where would you fit him at? Where would you fit him in at? He's not playing on the wing. He's not playing in the midfield. I think of Thomas Muller more as like a false 9. Maybe get away with him as a 10, maybe. But I think of him more as a false 9, a second striker. And they don't play that. Like that's not the system this team plays. So it really doesn't make any sense why they would sign him. LAFC, even though Bayern Munich and LAFC have a partnership, it just really doesn't make any sense. Mr. says the difference with Muller is he was never that athletic to begin with. His game was all about intelligence and anticipation. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He was never pacey like Marco Royce was, but he still makes me nervous because of his age and if his longevity, like how much he'll be able to actually play. And I'm curious. I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna look up his how many games he's played and how many games he's missed over the last couple years. So he's 35. He'll be 36 in September. And let's see. So he's still pretty reliable for his games played. I mean, they only have 34 matches in the regular season in the Bundesliga, and he's played 27 matches or more in every season since 2009, 2010. So he is pretty durable. He is durable. It just the money would have to make sense. You could not sign Thomas Muller as a DP. You could not do that. You could not do that. Uwe says he's only able to play as a second striker. Yeah, and that's just not the system they play. Matthew Dominguez says Thomas Muller is so prime for that LAFC transition ball. I agree. I just don't think it'd work out, honestly. QK says, who do you think wins the Champions League, PSG or Milan, Inter Milan? Man, that's a tough one. I would say probably Inter Milan. I think they finally get one because they were so close to beating Man City a couple years ago. If Lukaku could finish any of his chances, I would like to see Inter Milan get one. It'd be not, but I'll tell you what, it would be funny as hell. It would be funny as hell if PSG literally got rid of Mbappe. He goes to Madrid. Madrid doesn't win the Champions League, right? After they win it every year. They don't win the Champions League. He leaves, and then PSG finally wins it. That would be so funny. That would be hilarious. As you guys know, I'm not a big Mbappe guy. Uwe says this league is all about that, though. He was no slouch in his day. No, he was good. I'm a German national team fan. That's my second team. I'm a huge Thomas Muller fan. It's just age is a concern. I mean, he's going to be 36 in a couple months. He's not getting. I mean, maybe if you sign him for a 2-year deal, maybe, but it really just depends on what team he goes to. Mr. Mister says I agree. The age would be a concern, especially because in MLS we all know the resources are very limited. Is it worth the swing on a guy to pay him? Because you can't pay him as a DP. If it's a DP, it's a non-starter. Can you afford to pay him $1.6 million and then him just be absolutely useless like Marco Royce? And on top of it, like we said, he's got to find the right team where he can fit in their system. He's a second striker. He plays underneath the guy. Who's going to what team in MLS would he fit in with that system? Matthew Dominguez says LA Galaxy can maybe get Santi Jimenez from I mean, they'd have to spend like what 50, 60 million. I think PSG have the upper hand. I wouldn't be surprised if they won. I would not be surprised if they won. Why couldn't we get Malik instead? Yeah, I think they said Malik's like transfer value is like 40 million now. You already have a Tillman. Yeah, he said he wants the good Tillman though, not the bad one. He wants the good Tillman, brother. Cannot believe the LA Galaxy are on pace to be winless in their 14th game. Only 20 matches left. 20 matches left this season. 20 matches for the LA Galaxy. And they have to play San Diego next. They're going to lose that game because it's at San Diego. They have to play San Jose. They could lose that game. They play RSL. They could maybe win that game. Then they play St. Louis at St. Louis. That's questionable if they could win that game. Very questionable. Their schedule is just brutal. I mean, besides the St. Louis game, the next closest game they could possibly win is DC United, and that's July 12th. That's July 12th. They have to play Colorado, San Jose, and Vancouver this summer before the DC United game. RSL St. Louis City maybe could win that game, but they're not beating San Diego next week. And they're not beating San Jose on that Wednesday. That's not happening. So this team legitimately could be winless through like 16 or 17 games. I can't believe how bad it is. Santi has been horrible. His value has to have dipped. Yeah, I mean, it probably has, honestly. Milan has looked terrible in the last. Frankie Amaya is coming in for Marky Delgado. Milan has just really fallen off after looking pretty good in the beginning of the season. Mr. Mister says the team that makes the most sense for Muller, I think, is Charlotte, playing on the secondary striker with Ajimong. Well, I will say this. I think that Charlotte desperately needs to go get a DP striker. Now, if I'm not mistaken, obviously Zaha is a DP. Abad is a DP. I'm trying to think of who their third DP is. I don't know if they have. I guess Bill maybe is a third DP. They need a DP striker desperately because the defense is sound, but when it's not, they can't score goals. Like they just when the defense is lacking for Charlotte, they just don't have the guys who can score the goals to make up the difference. I think Charlotte FC have to prioritize striker this offseason. It's got to be number one on their list. They have to go out there and sign a striker who can score. Ajimong is just way too inconsistent. He's not technical enough. He's kind of an awkward striker. I don't think he's bad. He's decent for MLS for certain teams. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, missed opportunity. Paintsel lost possession of the ball when he turned. He's holding the back of his ankle, too. I don't think he fouled him, though. Could be wrong. I don't think he fouled him. What's your opinion of Goretzka? Was one of the best midfielders in the world, in my opinion, but after Bayern's Champions League win, I feel he fell off. He did fall off. You know, it's crazy how many great players they have on that team. Like, that team is, I mean, I know Bayern is obviously really good, but it feels like they're underrated, like they're not talked about enough. I mean, he did foul him right there, Hollingshead, but he didn't have the ball. He didn't have the ball though. Like that's kind of I don't know about that one. He clipped him, but I don't. He didn't have the ball. I don't know about this. I don't know. You guys think that was a penalty? Julian Aldi's coming in. Looks like Cerrillo is just getting a drink. Who's coming in? John Nelson's coming out. Who else is coming in? Parente's coming in. Pin all day, but I'm biased. Matthew says Ajimong looks so uncoordinated. Hated him playing for over Sargent in the Nations League. He did score, but that was more because of Luna's setup, I think. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's not USMNT quality. He's just not. Let's be honest, he's not. Any way to watch this without giving Apple any money? I think this game might be free. I think all Sunday night soccer games are free on Apple TV. I'm not sure about that, but I think this game's free. I could be wrong though. Okay, yep. Then he fouled the hell out of Mickey Imane right there, showing a yellow card. Definitely a foul, no question about it. UB says MLS season pass is worth it, $89. I mean, to be fair, UB, you're an LAFC fan, or you're not. Are you an LAFC fan? Maybe you're not an LAFC fan. I'm sorry if you are. You're not. Either way, I don't think many LA Galaxy fans are willing to spend that, especially as bad as the team has been this year. I don't think they're clamoring to play. They're not excited to pay that kind of money to watch a bad team. Thoughts on USMNT new kid? Absolute fire. Absolute fire. Probably going to get one, honestly. Like the pinstripes. Kind of reminds me a little bit of LAFC's jersey they have, except obviously it's blue, red, white, and blue instead of the gold and black. I think it's absolutely fire. I love it. And I mean, I'm not going to pay $90 to watch the LA Galaxy lose. That's exactly. I understand completely. I understand completely. Daniel says, I just looked at the live stats on SofaScore. Uwe says, I hope next year's a banger. Next year's 2026. Yeah. I wouldn't be upset if the kit that they revealed this year would be next year's, because I think it looks good. I think it's solid. Let's see if LAFC can pull one back. Remember what Nick said? Nick said 6-2. Nick was wiling on that one. I think that was a little bit too optimistic, but I said 4-2 LAFC over LA Galaxy. I think LAFC might have another one in them to score, because Under is in here and he's looked really good this year. Bobasay, not a big fan of. Don't think he's that good. Just think about this too. Olivier Giroud is the third option striker. Ordas the starter. And Bobasay the backup. Olivier Giroud, $6 million a year, and he is the third option striker on this team. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? He is, but him knocking the ball down to Muller could work. Muller anticipation and positional sense could make it work better than LA Galaxy. Uwe says, you think Nashville and Chattanooga could be rivals one day? Probably not. Probably not, honestly. Maybe Chattanooga and Knoxville, because Knoxville has a USL team. Knox won. Parente is just not good. Yeah, he's not. He's definitely not. Under was at Roma, right? He was at Roma. Then he was at Fenerbahce. That's where he's on loan from this season. Marlon comes in for Tillman. Are they going to park the bus? I think he is. I think LAFC are trying to lock it down. They're trying to park the bus, which is very cowardly of Dolo. I hate that. I hate that when he does that shit. Q Kenny says next year is definitely going to be a battle to remember for LAFC and the Galaxy. Ooh, good tackle by Yamane. Jay says that's Dolo ball for you. Yeah, I know. Dolo ball. That's what got him in this mess in the first place. LG said I said it'd be a 2-2 tie. I mean, it could be. We'll see. We will see. Under's absolutely cooking right now. Did Cerrillo clip his heel? Yep, Cerrillo gets yellow. Q Kenny says World Cup, I mean. Yeah, hopefully it is. 2014 is the best World Cup I've ever witnessed because the time zone, Eastern time zone, obviously in Brazil, and being able to watch that, or at least most of it was, it wasn't too crazy where you're having to watch it late at night or early in the morning. That is the most memorable World Cup I've ever watched. The 2014, the hype in the United States was absolutely crazy. Everybody was excited to watch all the games. Had my friends over at my house screaming, watching the match. I remember my friend when Jermaine Jones scored that goal, that absolute banger against Portugal. I remember my friend literally running around my house and out my front door into my neighborhood, just screaming at the top of his lungs. It was absolutely incredible. And I honestly haven't had a moment like that since then. Hopefully, we're able to replicate something like that in 2026. Oh, oh. Is he offside? Oh, Gabriel Peck. I said he'd score. Was he onside though? Gabriel Peck. Was he onside though? He looked like he was way offside. I have to see a replay on that. By the way, that he just had that guy on skates. Yeah, when the ball was played, though, it looked like he was way offside. I mean, was there anybody near him? Let me see this. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he was offside. Are you kidding me? %100. Oh my God, that's not even close. I think he was definitely offside. It didn't even look like it was close. Was that Aaron Long he had on skates right there? Yeah, like that looks like it's definitely offside. Let me take a picture of this. Yeah, that looks offside for sure. What do you guys think? Is that onside? There's no way that's onside. There is no way that's onside. Yeah, of course. It's not even close. Yeah, he looked. Yep, he sent Drew Fisher to go look at it. I mean, I don't think it's even close. By the way, we should have onside technology. The fact we don't have onside technology to see if a guy's onside is absolutely ridiculous. How the hell do we not have that at this point? How do we not have onside technology, goal line technology? How do we not have that? We have VAR. We're always the guinea pig for FIFA to see, and you can't even see this angle. This is I don't know why the hell they're showing this. You can't see anything from this angle. You can't see. Now I can see Gabriel Peck. I will say this: I can't see Gabriel Peck, but I can see Aaron Long. If you can't see Aaron Long or you can't see Gabriel Peck, how can you say he's onside? You can't even see him. Let me take a picture of this real quick. You literally cannot eat in that standstill. You couldn't even see him. You can't even see Gabriel Peck in that angle. All right, let's see what he says. Here we go. Offside. Yep, no goal. I mean, he wasn't onside. I mean, it's not even close. 2-1 LAFC still. Pretty sure MLS doesn't have goal line. Yeah, MLS does not have goal line technology. But they definitely should. I mean, they're the guinea pig for FIFA. They always try, like when they had the spray for free kicks to draw the lines for the wall or for the free kick line. They were like the first league to do that. They're the first league to really try VAR. I mean, they're the first league to try a lot of different things. By the way, guys, got 54 of you in the chat right now. Only 14 likes from 50. Let's hit 50 likes on the stream down below. So make sure you like it if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're 28 subscribers away from 6,700. Trying to hit 7K by June 1st. I think we will do that with everything coming up. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit the little bell notification so you never miss any of the videos. Let's see. William Mara says, greetings from Ecuador. Loved this weekend because multiple MLS derbies were played. Hell is Real, Trafico, Hudson River Derby, Florida Derby, Cascadia Derby, and a Canadian Classic. Yeah, I mean, it was a big rivalry week for Major League Soccer. Always a big week, and interesting storylines come out of the week. Jay says the way that had the shittiest angle possible is crazy. I agree. It really wasn't good, but wasted a whole year on that. Aaron Long is still playing soccer. Yeah, Aaron Long is not very good. Oh, Nascimento. Ooh. Well, I like the video. Now, admit you bleed for the Galaxy. It's okay. We love you. I want both of these teams to do well. And I will say this, it's really bad the Galaxy are bad. I will say that. That is not good for MLS. When LA Galaxy are terrible, it is bad for the league. It's not good for the league. I won't deny that. Long, a.k.a. Berhalter's favorite center back. Yeah, I don't know. What about I mean, he liked Kellen Acosta, which Kellen Acosta is not center back. I think Berhalter really liked Tim Ream and Zimmerman. See what happens. Oh, we got a lot of space here. A lot of space. Hollingshead. Oh, that was almost that was close. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Gabriel Peck did have a ton of space right there, so that was good. Segura was able to clear that. Oh, God, Segura. What are you doing, bro? Oh, Peck fouled just outside the box. Josh Sean says, is there an app you can watch MLS on? Yes, Apple TV. Apple TV app is where you can watch all the games. Jay says these Galaxy midfielders are not it. They're absolute trash. They're terrible. Cerrillo looks terrible. I thought he was pretty good. But he's not it anymore. Not anymore. Jay says, for real, will you be covering the Gold Cup or Club World Cup games? Yes, I will be covering all the USMNT games at the club at the Gold Cup. I will be trying to do. And by the way, we are one like away from hitting our number. We're one like away from hitting our 50 likes, and we also gained 4 subscribers, 24 away from 6,700. Appreciate everybody liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate that. Yes, I will be doing live watch-alongs for the Club World Cup. I'm going to try to do every Miami game. I might do some Seattle games. I might do some LAFC games. It really just depends. As you guys can imagine, talking for 2.5 hours is very, very demanding and can wear you out, right? Obviously talking like that. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm definitely going to do some games. I'm definitely going to cover it and do some recaps for each game, especially after the game's over. Oh, Marco Royce with the free kick. Got the brace. 2-2 LA Galaxy, LAFC. Marco Royce with the free kick. Dropped it right over, right side, bottom goal. There you go. LA Galaxy tied up officially against LAFC, 2-2. Marco Royce has the best game of his 2025 season. Maybe the best game he's had since he's been an LA Galaxy player. Let's see what he does here. What was Lloris doing? He hesitated for some reason. Two El Trafico. Hey, keep in mind though, even if they tie, they still are winless. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but hey, let's be honest. We got 3 minutes of regular time plus added time. Oh, that's definitely a foul on Cerrillo. It's getting chippy. It's getting chippy. Marco Royce, take a bow. Got your brace. For you, Royce, I would do anything. Okay, Marco Royce was worth it. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Josh Sean says, I think you should show the live stream while on YouTube. I can't show the live stream on YouTube. I'm going to get taken down. My account will be flagged. It's copyright. I can't show the game. Besides, this is just supposed to be a watch along. We're watching together, watching the game, seeing what's happening, talking about what's happening. I'm not trying to get my account suspended. By the way, we hit 50 likes. We're at 53 right now, and we also gained 3 more subscribers. We're 21 away from 6,700. We are gaining momentum. 21 subscribers from 6,700. We're going to hit 7,000 by the end of this month. We're going to do it. And we're going to also get 10K by the end of the year. I'm going to make it my mission to get 10,000 subscribers by this summer. We got the transfer window coming up. We got the Club World Cup coming up. We got the Gold Cup coming up. Leagues Cup, not too excited about that. Club, we got the CONCACAF Champions Cup final. There are so many big things coming up this summer. We are going to hit that 10K. We got so much content coming out. So I think we're going to do it. This is exactly why, by the way, Dolo should not be parking the bus. Exactly why. Best rivalry game in MLS by a mile. It's not even close. It's not even close. Biggest rivalry game in Major League Soccer by far. The Seattle Sounders, Portland Timbers rivalry used to be the biggest, but both teams have really fallen off. No one really cares about that game anymore. But this game is a big deal. This game is always a banger. Always a banger in MLS. 100%. 100%. It's so boring to watch, and it's stupid when they park the bus. 9 minutes of added time. Okay, anything can happen here. 9 minutes of added time. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. 9 minutes. They want this game to keep going. Oh, it's Pekka's. Oh, a little over the bar. 9 minutes. Is Pooch coaching? He looks like a coach on the sideline. He's got the suit looking good. Obviously, the hair's big and stuff. That maybe not too coach-like, but Ricky Pooch looks like he's coaching on the sideline. Is he an assistant coach for? Is he an assistant coach for Greg Vanny until he gets back on the pitch? Q Kenny says, "I hope the rivalry with San Jose doesn't die. The Cali Clasico will never die. It's not as good as El Trafico, but it will never die." Ooh, they got Ricky Pooch picking his nose. Dillo parked the bus on the wrong level. He parked the bus way too soon. Way too soon. See if LAFC have another one in them. Here we go. Igor Jesus has been terrible for LAFC. Yeah, he got hit in the head. You got to stop play. Yep. Oh, that was not good. Let's see. Just share. I want to share this. I got to share this Marco Royce free kick. Yep. 9 minutes going to turn to 11 is what Taylor Tolman says. So this game, we still probably got another 9 minutes of this game. Do any of you guys watch MLS Wrap Up? Honestly, do any of you watch that show? Honest to God, do any of you guys watch the MLS Roundup show or whatever the hell it's called? I don't watch that. I can't watch it. I can't watch them. It's terrible. Honestly, it's terrible. Ube says that rivalry ain't going away, but it's second fiddle to LFC. 100%. A Cosmic Jojo says totally off topic, but I think Messi walks out after the season. Maybe, depends. Jordi Alba resigning, obviously, I think helps a little bit, and him staying. We'll have to see. Them playing bad doesn't help. William Harris says it's a pity that historically important teams in American soccer history, like the New York Cosmos and Bethlehem Steel FC, never got to play in MLS. If they existed today, it might be wild, especially the Cosmos. I think that Bethlehem Steel FC is the Union's second team, or they were at one point. Did they go under? Are they no longer playing? Jay says, "Come on, Galaxy Venice." Just PVBC says no. Butterdog says no. LG says no. Mister says no. Nobody's watching the wrap-up show. It sucks. There's no personalities. I don't give a shit what Dax McCarty has to say, or Sasha Kleshchin, or Kaylin Kyle. They have no personality on there. Nobody I care about to hear. Now, if they had Alexi on there, now listen, I know some of you guys hate Alexi Lawless. That's fine. He's a friend of mine. Either way, if you dislike him or don't like, or either way, if you dislike him or like him, you're still going to watch what he has to say. You're either going to hate watch him or just watch him because you like him. He is a personality. He knows the game. He's entertaining. That's somebody they need on the show, not Dax McCarty and Sasha Kleshchin, who have no personality whatsoever. Who wants to watch that? No chemistry, no personality, absolute snooze fest. Absolute snooze fest. Sometimes I low-key do. Yeah, but are you going to bed? Do you put it on right before you're about to go to sleep? Maybe I would put it on in that case. Q Kenny says, never hear about it. No Name says, wait, did Mascherano resign? Did he? Wait, no. Did that actually happen? Yeah, I don't see that anywhere. Wait a second. Okay, I see ESPN Argentina reporting something. Okay, it says Javier Mascherano took full responsibility for Inter Miami's defeat in MLS. That's all it says. I don't see anything about him resigning. That'd be crazy. Uwe says only watch post-game analysis during the playoffs. Kyle Hicks says, yeah, almost every weekend. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Jay says, who would you want to have on there? Alexi, maybe try to get someone like a big-time former MLS player. Like Landon Donovan obviously is very controversial these days, but so get people on there that people actually know. Bradley Wright Phillips is okay. I have no issues with Bradley Wright Phillips. But get some big-time players on there. What about Clint Dempsey? I think he does a really good job on Paramount Plus or CBS whenever he covers the games. I think he – oh, the heel flick. Oh, my God, that would have been crazy if Holland's Head had made that. Oh, that would have been crazy. Butterdog says, bring Messi on the show. I think Bobase was offside on that anyway. Jay says, Alexi's entertaining, but his takes are so trash. But that's the thing. You watch him, even if his takes are trash, you still want to hate on him. So it's all good. Like, you're going to hate watch him. And then if you really think his takes are trash, then you watch the guy next to him dunk on him. Humberto, who is a member of the channel, which I greatly appreciate, says, how embarrassing the LAFC pissing in their shirts with the bottom of the Western Conference. It's what happens when you park the bus that early. You park the bus early. I mean, you cannot play like that. You cannot play scared. You got to go for it. Ooh, you got to go for it. 2-1 is way too soft of a lead to be parking the bus. It's actually embarrassing. He knows he won't be fired. Mr. Mitchell says, I think Messi will do next season to open the stadium and the World Cup is there in the summer. Then he'll either retire or do a season at Newell Old Boys. Yeah, maybe. I think he said that Miami was his last club. I think he said that. I'd respect it if he stepped down. If who stepped down? No Name says, I thought he resigned because you mentioned something about him resigning. No. You talking about Javier Mascherano? No, I was talking about Greg Vanny resigning earlier in the stream. Overall, bad game. I mean, it's been entertaining. I've seen way worse games this year than this. Jay says, no, I do like him because he's very polarizing. Yeah, he is. I mean, he's my friend. You know, I like him no matter what. I mean, I consider him my friend. And you know, I know a lot of people don't like him, but you know, I think he's good at what he does. Oh, what a pass. Okay, Mascherano. Yeah. I mean, he's not going to step down and he's not going to be fired because he's Messi's boy. So it's not going to happen. Diogo says, just a curiosity, do you guys have big sports events on theater? Do you guys have big sports events on theater? What do you mean by that? Mr. Mister says, yeah, but Newell's is his childhood or his boyhood club. He probably played for free for them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's possibility. Definitely a possibility. You never want to say never, right? 2 more minutes. Does anybody win this game? Is it going to be 2-2? It's going to end in a draw. Still winless for the LA Galaxy. Even if they don't, even if the results, or what a pass by Marco Royce. Julian Alde, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Here in Brazil, we have the Champions League finals on theater, for example. Are you saying like the Champions League at a movie theater? Like them broadcast them at the movie theater? Is that what you mean? I don't know. They don't do that where I live, but they could do that in other cities. That's definitely possible, but they don't do that where I live. Q Kenny says, at this point, I'm not even mad, just disappointed. I mean, they could. You're getting a point in this game, but I mean, it's still a lot. I mean, you're still winless. So I mean, you can't really brag about tying with your opponent. I mean, it's at home. But Greg will probably spin it and say, yeah, this is a great performance. I mean, we played really well. Still winless through 14 games. Still winless through 14 games. Yeah, I don't think we don't do that anywhere near me. Uwe says, yeah, they showed a couple World Cup games where I live. That's pretty cool. Yeah, now like the bars and like I remember I actually went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the 2014 World Cup final, the Germany and Argentina final. It's like peak Americanism, right? Watching a World Cup final at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Bro, your thoughts about Ledesma and Dest winning the Eredivisie and Turner and Richards winning the FA Cup with Crystal Palace? I mean, it's not. I mean, it's good, obviously, but I don't know what those guys. All four of those. Okay, game's over. LAFC, LA Galaxy end in the draw. 2-2. LA Galaxy still winless in 14 games. Still a disaster. Marco Royce had a good game, obviously. But as far as your question, I think those guys have to step up for the USMNT. None of them have played well for the USMNT in a while. Dest will make his reappearance for a first time in like I think 16 months. They're gonna have to step it up. Uwe says bars with a move, 100%. Diego says, I think it will be cool to have a Super Bowl on the theater. That would be cool. Battle of Mid. Simply Dope said, did Turner play enough games to get a winner's medal? I don't think he did. Kyle Hicks says, Western Conference semi at Hooters. That's elite. That's elite. That's elite Americanism right there. LA Galaxy have a huge drop from last season. Yeah, LA Galaxy still winless in 14 games. Still a disaster. Let's not spin it in a positive way. They did look better, but they still didn't win. And it was at home against a rival. Still a loss in my book. We'll see what happens. They have 4 points in 14 matches. Not good enough. Walker Royce has a good game. We'll see what happens. Guys, listen, I'm going to be on Nick's X on his Twitter space to break down this game, post-game thoughts. Go check it out over there. There won't be a weekly recap because I'm going to post, I think, a MLS Power Rankings update video probably at some point this week. That's what I'm going to try to do. So be on the lookout for that. I appreciate you guys watching the live stream with me. 2 hours, 16 minutes. Enjoyed it very much. Hope you guys have a great night. Go check me over at on Nick's Twitter space. I'm going to share it on my Twitter account or X. Also, make sure you like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos. Appreciate you guys for stopping by tonight. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.